Today, we're going to be talking with a magician who is using his power to blow up on YouTube and book more jobs. Stay tuned. It's the Business of Video podcast.
You're listening to the Business of Video podcast, where the world's top YouTubers and marketers talk about what's working with online video. This podcast is recorded live on Facebook every week, and you can join us when you visit businessofvideopodcast.com. Now your host, Owen Video.
Hey, it's Wednesday. That means you're watching the Business of Video podcast, keeping you up to date with the latest tactics on video marketing to grow your brand. I'm Owen Video here with Nick Nimitz, and we hope you will subscribe to the show for weekly interviews with the brightest minds in video, helping you to make a greater impact. Just type sub, that's S-U-B, in the comments right now if you're watching on Facebook. Our guest today is a fantastic magician, Matt Furman. He's going to be sharing with us his tricks, but also his tricks. Yeah, you like that? I spent all week writing that, Nick, by the way, so I'm glad that you appreciate it. Great guy today. We're having a lot of fun today.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good time. We had the pleasure of meeting Matt in person at Vid Summit. And man, absolutely amazing. Just blew my mind. This guy with the tricks that he was pulling at Vid Summit. Really cool stuff.
He was doing tricks right in front of us too, you know. And I remember kind of going like, "Come on, seriously? Like I'm right here. I'm gonna figure this out, right?" No way. Completely. You know, I almost felt like casting out demons. At one point, I was just like, you know, get behind me, Satan. But it turns out he's not the devil at all. He's just a very talented entertainer. So I can't wait to get to that. But first, we've got some news. Hello. Let's try that again. We've got some really important news articles happening right now. I'm sure you guys have seen this all over the internet. I mean, it's literally pasted. It's over the internet everywhere. But a local famous YouTuber was recently featured on San Diego Channel 10 News. Let's roll that clip, Melissa. Oh, I forgot we have no audio. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Owen Video was featured on Channel 10 News just recently, and I wanted to share all that. I wanted to share that with you guys because it's my little bragging moment. Did you see the clip, Nick?
I did see the clip, and I do want to give you like a big high five and a fist bump for that being on an actual TV channel that's not on the internet. That is fantastic.
I know, and you know what a super fun experience too. And I really, this is kind of like a gag news item for today. It's not real, but we wanted to share that with you guys. And I do have a sort of a tip for all you guys out there. You know, what happened was, right, with the case with the YouTube shooter, a horrible incident that happened. And what I did was I made a video immediately. Like the news broke, I spent about 30 minutes researching, and I came into my office, made a video, put it on YouTube. Within the hour, folks, Channel 10 News was contacting me. They wanted to do an interview and just talk to me about what happened and my expertise and all that kind of stuff. So they featured me on the news. But I think a wonderful testament, okay, to how powerful YouTube is, right? Couple different tips for you guys. You've got to create a page in your website that's like YouTube expert San Diego, YouTube expert, you know, Duluth, Minnesota, or Facebook expert, or if you're a magician, you know, magician San Diego, whatever the case might be, and focusing on news events, you know, recent news articles, fantastic way to get discovered. So, you know, I was happy about it. It's super fun, and you get a little bit of added free exposure. So who's going to complain with that?
Right. Who doesn't like free exposure? Who doesn't like any types of exposure, but especially free exposure for the win, without question.
I love it. I love it. Now, guys, we do have some pretty serious news articles we want to get to today, including this article right here. Mark Zuckerberg has been testifying in front of Congress for the last 48 hours. I mean, really, it's yesterday, and he's going to be there for another 5 hours today. Nick, are you following this story at all?
I'm not.
You know, there's so much going on. It's crazy. Republicans and Democrats alike are grilling this guy. We're going to be releasing a video on it later today. But the idea is this: in light of all the privacy scandal that's happening with Facebook, which is this. When you sign up to Facebook for free, they get all of your data and they sell it to advertisers. The advertisers are then able to advertise to you using the data that Facebook has provided them. Now, they don't get, your name and your address and your phone number, but they can target you with ads. And that's kind of been the forefront of this whole scandal. Mark Zuckerberg.
And I want to back this up a little bit. And Owen keeps saying they target you with ads. They do this, but Owen, video marketers, right? Video marketers, advertisers, right? This is Owen is targeting you with ads. That's what I'm getting at. It's Owen.
It's really a fascinating case. And if you guys aren't watching it, go down to your favorite news station on Facebook right now and check it out. I've got pluses and minuses on all this stuff. If you guys aren't watching, I don't mind. Here's the big thing. I don't mind being targeted with ads. Zuckerberg said this yesterday. He says, we have found that people don't like ads, but what they don't like even more are ads that are not relevant to them. Right. And I don't know, Nick, are you, I'm getting ads that are pretty relevant to me in my newsfeed.
I'm the same exact way. And let's be honest, like if I'm scrolling through a feed and I see, a gadget, right? Cause I'm into gadgets and I see a gadget, I'm going to stop. I'm going to look at it. I might even click on it. And if it's a really good ad and a really good gadget, there's a chance that I might even order it if they ship here locally. So, because of that, I think that not only is it okay that I'm being targeted with the right stuff, but it's effective on the side of the advertiser to, in terms of what it is that they're doing.
I can't imagine sending out ads because we're running ads not just for our own company, but for our client companies as well. And I couldn't imagine, sending out an ad to someone that has no interest or is not qualified to receive the ad. That's going to result in unsubscribes, unfollows,
and a waste of money, and just a hollow pocket because you're wasting money.
Absolute waste of money. You got some great points. Jason Rodriguez is saying, oh, the right stuff. Awesome New Kids on the Block reference, right? Talking about having the right ads show up in your newsfeed. Nicole Sheffer is saying they are calling them malicious third parties. Yeah, they are. They're also calling them bad actors is a term that we're kind of seeing over and over and over again. But the heart of the matter is this. What's a company to do? What is a multi-billion-dollar tech pioneer to do in this brave new world where these standards have never been talked about before? And all of a sudden, he's sort of pulled in front of Congress like he's the criminal. I think it's a very interesting case and one that we should all be sort of following a little bit, especially if you're on Facebook. We do know a couple different things. We do know that they're making some big shifts in their privacy policy, and we're going to get to those in a quick second. But I think this, guys, I'd love to know your opinion. We also think that we're going to be seeing a paid version of Facebook coming very, very soon. Would you pay for Facebook?
No. Well, let me back that up. If it was for work related, where it's like, okay, well, if you're going to have a group, you have to pay. If you're going to have a page, you got to pay. If you're going to, if you're going to do that kind of stuff, you have to pay, then okay, yeah. But if I'm going to get excluded from that kind of stuff, but if it's like you pay, even if it was $1 to not see ads, I wouldn't give Facebook $1 to not see ads. Yeah, because to me, it's like not that big of a deal. It's not that, they're not that intrusive to where it really bothers me.
Can you imagine like a billboard going up? And I don't know how many billboards you guys have out there in Chiang Mai, but out here we're in a billboard community. Can you imagine a billboard going up that says like, "Hey, San Diego residents, try the new restaurant," and me suing the billboard company because they know where I live?
Right.
It just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense here. And I think what we're seeing is also sort of like this blending of the old generation and the new generation, right?
Yeah.
Zuckerberg is 33 years old. He's a tech giant. He's from a world that these senators, I don't want to say they don't understand it, because I'm seeing a lot of people, and it's really frustrating me. I'm seeing a lot of like our Facebook experts and our marketing experts out there saying, it's just a bunch of old white guys that don't understand marketing. You guys got to understand that these old white guys won their campaigns using Facebook. So they're not ignorant to how social media works. I think that's a big fallacy. And anytime we misjudge another person's intelligence, I think we're on real slippery ground there. These people understand how it works.
Now, I would say I would like to throw in another side to that, and that would be that that the actual politicians themselves, because they're doing the whole politicking thing, it would be more of their social media managers and those people that really have the understanding of it. They know it's effective, they know it works. But in terms of them actually understanding the inner workings of it, I would definitely put that more on the side of whoever's running their campaigns for them, more than I would them. And I think that by itself does create a little bit of a disconnect, because you do have that old side, that old camp of things, and we deal with that here also, to where they want to, keep things a certain way, and, and all that. And that happens in the States also, to where it's like, like the people that have things a certain way, or with any of us, you get comfortable, you get used to things being a certain way. And then when a wrench is thrown into that in any way, shape, or form that starts taking things into another direction, or maybe it's causing like a little bit of shake in the whole power and all of that sort of thing, then, they're definitely going to get a little worried about it.
Yeah, I think you bring up some good points there. Would love to know your thoughts if you're watching us live on Facebook or even on the podcast on iTunes. Send us a tweet. Let us know your thoughts. Love to get a conversation around this. I think if nothing else, what we're going to see is we're going to start seeing some new policy changes happening. We're going to see a brave new Facebook, and all of those things may be good. They may be bad. I mean, time will only tell. That actually brings us to our next article on the news here today, which is that Facebook just revealed 3 major policy changes that will be coming as a result of this hearing. I don't think it's a trial. Mark Zuckerberg volunteered to speak in front of Congress, and I think he volunteered to avoid. Oops, it's going to start playing.
We've seen almost everything.
Sorry. He volunteered to do that so that he wouldn't be subpoenaed, and I feel like it's just very interesting. I think you guys should all be watching this. We'll post a link in the description box. But here's 3 new privacy settings that you guys are going to see here. Number 1 is you will be able to download all of your Facebook data. Right now, you're able to download some of it, but there is some stuff that you're just not able to touch, I think, in light of this whole scandal. This article, by the way, is coming from time.com. Facebook is going to be adding privacy shortcuts where you can control your data in just a few taps. And Facebook will be rolling out a redesign of the settings on its menu. So it'll be easier to find some of your privacy settings, which I don't know, Nick, I feel like it's like a huge distraction. Lindsey Graham, who's a senator from North Carolina, South Carolina, made some great points yesterday. He said, look, he says, I'm a lawyer and I can't understand your terms of service for the life of me. He says, do you think the common person actually understands they're giving up their data? I don't think,
even on that side of things, I mean, there's a lot of differing opinions on this. And I know, like, I'm not buying into the side of things like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. But on the flip side, like me personally, as for me, I'm speaking for myself. Like, I don't care if Facebook knows where I live. I don't care if Facebook knows my age, my phone number. I don't care if they track how I use their platform. I don't care. I don't even care if because of their pixels and all that. I don't even care if they track what I'm looking at on the internet. I just don't care, right? Because I mean, I'm gonna be doing that anyway. Whatever they do with that data in terms of giving it to whoever it is that they happen to give it to, it doesn't matter. Like I think that for me, like I think that of course there are guidelines or you only want to let that go so far, and I'm not sure where that line actually is. But in terms of all of the big privacy shakeup, like me personally, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm
trying to find like a nice way to say that, but I mean, it bottoms out at I just don't care.
You know what? Jason Rodriguez saying, same here. Jason Rodriguez saying, as long as they don't throw ads on top of my live streams, that would be kind of lame. I totally get that. I think you got a good point. I'd love to know, if you're listening, you're watching this, where is the line for you? Maybe the line is way farther up and you don't want Facebook even knowing your last name. I mean, there's something to be said about that. I've always been an early adopter. And so I think from early on, I've made the decision that, that these guys are going to know who I am, whether they confess to knowing it or not. Right. So they're asking, I think we've all seen where we're talking about something with your friends and family, right? Your phone's on the table or it's on the counter and you're talking about baby powder. And then you log on to Facebook and you see an ad for baby powder, right? So Zuckerberg was asked, do you guys listen into conversations? And he wrote no. He says, does Facebook listen to conversations? He said no. And it's just kind of like bullshit. That's bull. Of course you're listening to my conversations. I there's no question. But is it Facebook? Is it this third party? Is it Messenger? Maybe they just asked the question wrong. So whether they confess to this stuff or not, it's going to happen. And I think you've got to ask yourself, are you going to live in fear, or are you just going to kind of live your life and be the most kind person you can be? Right. And hope that the boogeyman doesn't come and get you in black helicopters at nighttime, So Craig Denny says, hey, they're not giving away my bank account details, right? Absolutely. Of course, there is that enemy of the state. If you guys ever watched that Will Smith movie, there's that enemy of the state where they kind of go into his bank account and click zero. My thoughts are they can do that anyway. So it doesn't matter if they're following me. I'd love to know your opinions, guys. Are you outraged? Do you not care? And I'd love to know if you think it has to do with your generation, because I definitely think there's an older 60s, 70s generation that really valued like independence from the man. Whereas today we're kind of like integrated into the system. So I'd love your thoughts on that.
And it's only going to get worse in that regard too. I mean, and your kids, for example, right? Like as they're growing up into this stuff. Like with us, it kind of happened to us, right? But your kids are growing up into this where like this stuff is already established. It's already in place. All this privacy stuff is going on. Like by the time they get to be our age, as an example, like this is just going to be a normal thing for them. And I'd be surprised if it's even a topic of discussion. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be so integrated and such an accepted thing. So in situations like this, I definitely believe in putting up a fight, if they're using it in a bad way. But in a lot of cases, things like this, it's like they're just going to keep doing it anyway. It's just how much power and energy do you have to make it not happen or to cause a big enough stink to where you're actually going to change something. I'm not saying not to try if that's something you believe in, but if they want to go down that road, that's the road that they're going to go down.
Yeah,
that's what they do. They're tech companies.
You're absolutely right. And it's like we have got a responsibility to teach digital responsibility to the new generation. You know what I mean? And letting them know, hey, whatever you put online can be seen. I mean, there was a girl on American Idol years ago, maybe like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and she had some pictures of her and her boyfriend. Use your imaginations, folks. That ended up on Facebook. You've got to remember, you got to teach your daughters, like, hey, anything that you and your boyfriend are doing on your mobile phones is in the cloud, right? Somebody's got that data somewhere. And so you've got to be really careful with that. And I think there's something to be said about like politics, which party has your data and do you care? So much to be said about this. But at the end of the day, are we impacting change, or are we just squabbling and talking about things that are it's like, the new way is going to kind of railroad you anyway, right? Change always wins. Change always wins.
Absolutely does.
So adapt to change and work with it. So that's fascinating. We're going to wrap up on that article, but I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. And Nick, you had some news coming out of YouTube today.
Yeah. So if you are a YouTube content creator, the thumbnail impression data is now rolled out to everybody. So what you need to do is you need to go into your Creator Studio. You need to go down to your analytics. You need to make sure that you are using the Creator Studio beta, even though I've seen some reports. I didn't look at it in the classic version, but I saw some reports saying that it's also available in the classic version, but I haven't looked there yet. But you go into your into the new beta version, and then once you're in there, then you can click on any of your videos. And then once you on the videos tab, and then once you click into that video, if you go to discovery, then you're going to see the then you're going to see that funnel image right there. Where they're going to show you the impressions. Basically, what the impressions are is where people are. How many people have actually seen your thumbnail? How many people your thumbnail has been presented to on YouTube? So you're going to see how many people your thumbnail has been presented to versus how many people actually clicked on your thumbnails, which is amazing, because what that's going to do on our end is that's going to say, okay, not only are we going to be able to test thumbnails against each other in services like TubeBuddy and things like that, but we're also going to be able to say, okay, what can I do to my thumbnails if I'm getting a like a 5% or an 8% or a 9% click-through rate on these? What can I do to raise it up 2%? Right. And what's that 2% going to do to my channel if I can do that across the board on all of my future videos? Right.
All of that.
So yes, amazing stuff.
It really is. And that's kind of been the question that's been on my mind is, well, how many people even saw the thumbnail, you know, and where was it? Was it on the top of the page and on the bottom of the page? You know, and all of these new stats are, I think they're real stats, right? These are stats that are really going to help you dial in and develop your channel. Thumbnails, you know, YouTube is an autoplay scenario. So the video gets sent to you whether you wanted to see it or not, right? On YouTube, you get to choose which videos you're clicking on. And the TubeBuddy, by the way, guys, you know, TubeBuddy.com, go check them out. TubeBuddy has a split testing tool that allows you to split test your thumbnails. It's really interesting. We did 2 thumbnail tests last month, and we did the same thing. We made our standard thumbnails, and then we made them with a blue overlay. And that's what we did for both of these videos. And one video, the blue thumbnail one, on the other video, the standard thumbnail one. So, you know, you just never can be sure which thumbnail is going to outperform. And so having stats and data like this will help you to make more equitable decisions for your channel.
Absolutely.
And that's going to help you blow up like Nick Nimmin is blowing up, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. I was actually talking to a guy here locally today. He has a kids channel, and he's gotten here in like a month, he's going to cross 1 million subscribers, and he did that in a year.
Wow.
Here. Yeah. On a local channel here.
You know, kids channels are huge, man. Because so many parents, the kids themselves subscribe, but the parents just play this stuff over and over and over again. And if you're an advertiser, if you've got products for moms or for kids, you need to be advertising on these channels. And I would recommend doing these non-skippable ads because they're only 6 seconds, right? So you just do a branding ad. You're like, hey, want to cut carrots easier and smoother? Grab our knife set. You're done. You know how fast I would buy a knife set, by the way? Our knives are crap. You know why? Because we're cutting carrots all the time because we have 4 kids and apples and celery and all these kind of things. This is a great place for advertisers to be advertising. So follow that stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, you heard it here first on the Business of Video podcast. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, the show today is brought to you by the Video Marketing Toolkit. Do you want to launch your business on YouTube the right way? Do you want to learn how to set up your house with a proper background? Do you want to learn how to get started with the best equipment? Do you want to know how to write the perfect script? Well, go to thevideospot.net/toolkit and download the Video Marketing Toolkit for free. You'll get a sample script you can use for your business. You'll see 3 different background sets that anybody can create in their home office, in their garage, in a spare room. You'll also get my video title spreadsheet, which will help you organize your thoughts into SEO optimized titles. And you can get that all for free at thevideospot.net/toolkit. And I hope you guys will check that out. Want to say hello to all of you watching out there in Facebook land. We got Vicky Schieffer is out there. Dan Norton, the man. Good to have you out here joining us today. The beautiful, the sensational Teresa Matsky Hemsath is out there. I love you so much, baby. Aww. We've all got Teresa Kennard is watching. Sandy Sanders and Craig Denny is asking some great questions. Hey, guys, the third Troy is also out there. Sydney Scott is watching us today. Great to have you. Sten Ekberg. Dr. Sten is here with us today. What a great group. These are all like YouTubers and like people.
Yeah, and hey, I also, speaking of YouTubers, I also want to make a mention that for anybody that that's watching this right now, anybody that's going to listen to this on the replay and the podcast, my brother D also just recently launched a YouTube channel where he's teaching people how to master their mobile, how to do all types of stuff, create videos and all that stuff on your mobile device. So if you have a mobile phone, definitely head over to youtube.com/DNimmin and go and check out his channel and see what he has to offer you. He just launched his first video last Saturday.
He is the man. I'm so like happy to know your brother.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Yeah, you guys, and I love, because I'm a big family guy. So I love the family. My brother and I aren't so close. I mean, we're friends, but we're not so close. We didn't grow up very close. And I love that you guys are out there doing the digital nomad thing and kind of hanging out. You guys are building channels together. I love that. And I think it's super great that you're doing that. So let's drop a link in the comment section right now. And do me a favor, if you guys love your family, if you're family people, drop the word family in the comment section right now. We'd love to see that support. We got a great show today, guys. Our guest today is amazing, and we're going to get to that right now. Matt Furman has practiced magic for 20 years. He actually quit med school in his early years to pursue his passion and now performs 200 events per year for celebrities, private and corporate parties, and more, all while growing his YouTube channel to over 35,000 subscribers to date. I've met the guy personally. So excited to have him on the show. Matt, welcome to the podcast. How are you, sir?
Excellent. Thank you for having me. Real excited.
Now, tell us a little bit about where you're from, because I hear a little bit East Coast twang in you.
Yep. I'm a Long Island guy originally, living in Midtown Manhattan now, and always been a New Yorker.
That's amazing. I hear that Midtown has amazing deals on rent.
Yeah.
You see. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Matt, tell us a little bit about how you got started in the game.
So I actually went to medical school and dropped out to follow my passion, which is close-up magic. And I did that for 20 years, built up my career. Then I got turned on to YouTube. So I started learning from experts like yourself and Nick Nimmin, and decided it was time to grow a channel.
Your channel is fantastic. We're going to drop a link in the comment section right now. Do you guys like magic? If so, drop a magic or drop like a magic emoji in the comment section right now. I've always been an entertainer. I've always enjoyed magic. I don't have the patience to do it. Matt, what are some of the things that magic has taught you about business?
Everybody likes a good tricko, and you know that.
Did you bring any tricks to show us today?
Yeah, I think I got to warm up on somebody, right? So, something a little silver.
Booyah!
Nice. One there, and one there. First one, gone. Second one, gone.
Oh, amazing.
And last one, easy come, easy go.
Nice. Nice. And I have to say that this is on video and you can't really see like tons of the detail as he's doing this, but when you see this guy in person, he is absolutely jaw-dropping in terms of like just blowing your mind with some of the tricks that he has. Just
no doubt.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. I think like Owen said before, I think, Matthew, that I hate to say this, man, but I think you're a demon. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think you're a demon. But it's just awesome watching you work. Like, it's like, wow, this is like, like he's like really pulling like magic out of the universe here. This is incredible. Yeah, it is really incredible, and it's the kind of stuff that makes you go, like, what just happened there? I remember we were doing a collab at Vid Summit last year, and Matthew comes up and goes, guys, one more trick before you go. But so we're watching this like up close and personal. But you had someone filming in the back to make sure that you captured our live expression. Tell us a little bit about your process for capturing those moments for your channel.
So there's really two parts of the channel. There's one where you get the reactions, which is important, and two, where you get the trick, which in my mind is equally as important. Mm-hmm. So I try to combine, in some videos, both of them. And in certain videos, a lot of videos, like I just put one out, which is just the trick. So I want to come in close. I got a hot trick for you, and I'm going to come in real close right now. And I'm going to bring this down.
Wait, before you do that, guys, do us a favor. Share this video on your timeline right now. This is going to be super cool. Let's get Matt a little bit of an audience here. If you guys are watching this, you're enjoying this show, go ahead and click the share button right now. We're about to see a way cool up close magic trick. Let's see it. Now, let's Melissa, let's get rid of that lower third so that there we go. Perfect. All right, go ahead.
All right. This is definitely light. So I figured I'd change them.
It's my favorite trick.
That singles all the way to 100.
Nice.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Tax-free, by the way. So one more close thing. I want to get real close on this one. The old Rubik's Cube. Mixed and pretty good to go. So I'm going to cover it. And when you guys are ready, somebody please say go.
Go.
And would you believe completely solved? Come on, that's a hot one.
Nice.
Hot trick.
Nice.
How long did it take you to get? I mean, you quit med school for this. Were you already doing magic when that happened? I mean, did you go into med school like having already? I am doing this, but I really want to do magic.
So I actually got into it when I was in college, and I got into a program for med school early. So I was already in after my second year of college. So of course, this is what I wanted to do. Yet, and my parents and everybody said, do magic on the side.
Yeah.
So I tried that, and I finished up college, and I was really heavy into the magic. I went to medical school, still heavy into the magic. I did 2 years, and I just didn't want to do it. So I dropped out and pursued my passion.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear about that journey.
Well, I could tell you some crazy stories. I mean, I'm a hustler, born hustler like you guys. I used to meet my dad at the train station because I grew up in Long Island, and I used to take his ticket, his monthly. I'd go into Manhattan, and I'd just go to random places to do tricks, just to hand my card out and build up, sort of like building an email list at the time. Yeah. But that's what I used to do. I used to hustle. I used to work at a coffee shop. They paid me $2 a table. So I worked in so many different places just to get myself going.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is $2 a table. That's pretty crazy. Like I've been to restaurants when I used to live in the States. I've been to restaurants where, like every now and then you'd have like, that magician would show up and like walk around and do the tricks and stuff. And I never even thought about like how a payment system works out in a situation like that. So is $2 a table like at that time? Does that add up well? Like like in a restaurant, I guess you just keep going all night long, right?
Now, it wasn't really a standard setup, and at the time I wanted to get paid, but more so at the time I wanted to get clients. I wanted to be out there. So, it was really just a token. It was just kind of a funny thing I always think of, $2 a table, but
sure.
It wasn't a standard thing. And it really, I used to work a lot of places for free.
Yeah.
I used to work in this one place in Manhattan called Club Macanudo, which was a cigar bar, really corporate, really high end. It enabled me to build up a very good clientele. So being there wasn't about getting paid. It was about being there.
Yeah. That exposure, being in front of people. And you've been in front of some really fantastic people. Melissa, if you get a chance, let's pop his YouTube channel up on the screen because you've got over 35,000 subscribers and you've performed for some big names. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I guess it all started, I've a lot of stories, but I met this one guy. I was performing at a bar mitzvah party. And he came up to me and he told me he was a big guy at NBC, liked what I did, and told me his uncle used to be a mentalist. So he hired me on the spot for his son's bar mitzvah party. And it led to a lot. There's an event I do every year out in Lake Tahoe. This year was my 15th year, and there's 75 top celebrities there. So I've been doing it so long, everybody knows me. You got Michael Jordan out there. Trump used to be out there every year. Justin Timberlake's out there. Steph Curry. It's just it's a great event, and I'm hired entertainment. So it has enabled me to be in front of, meet a lot of, and build up a lot of celebrity clientele.
Yeah, I see you performing for Justin Timberlake. You got a couple videos, and you are getting way up close and personal, which makes it, you know, it makes it really hard, because I know I'm the type of guy where I'm looking at a magic trick and I'm like, all right, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. How long did it take you to develop the skill of doing these things? And I'm sure you're also increasing the difficulty of the trick. How long did it take you to really become, you know, go from a guy doing it in med school to performing for Trump and Timberlake?
So I am a big proponent of, I'm hardcore. I mean, I just got back, literally, I flew in this morning. I was in Miami and then San Fran last night. And when I'm in the hotel, I'm practicing. Like, I'm still constantly working on it. So it took a long time. I mean, I put myself into a lot of positions, challenged myself. I think that's important. And honestly, at a lot of these events, it's just another client. I mean, I'm paid to entertain the guests, you know, whether the guest is you guys or Justin Timberlake or Stephen Curry. I mean, I'm paid to perform for these guys. So it's just another.
Now, why I want to back this up for a second and say, why did you put us at the the very bottom of the totem pole there? Like, you could have went like one level farther down. You could have been like, if I'm getting paid the same if it's for a group of people on the street, that would have been a good start. And then you guys, and then that, but you had to put us like all the way down there at the bottom.
Yeah, I'd like to know as well.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool though, man. Like when you are doing it for the big celebrities, right? Like, like you're saying, you look at it like, hey, it's a client, so I'm doing this like regardless. But is there a little bit of intimidation? Like, like, hey, this is Justin Timberlake, right? Like, is there a little bit of intimidation? Like, man, I'm trying to keep my cool together. I got to keep my hands smooth and all that stuff, but I'm still a little bit nervous. Like, does that happen?
Absolutely. It's very, even at this event that my 15th year this year, and I mean, I've seen these guys and I've performed for Justin many times, but when you approach this guy or when you're about to perform for him, everybody comes over. In the videos, sometimes if you see it and I'm right next to him, it looks like there's 15 people. There's 80 people around.
Yeah.
So,
pressure's on.
I just got to do what I got to do. I just got to,
Sure.
Even if you're, how it is, even if inside, I just got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
Sure. That's your thing. I mean, that's what makes you a professional, is being able to push through that. Yeah, absolutely.
So talk to us a little bit about how you're using YouTube, because you were already successful when you started on YouTube. And so one would kind of ask, well, then why? Why waste all your time or your energy doing this video stuff? Talk to us a little bit about. That's cool. Look at how Justin Timberlake's saying like come over and watch this. Talk to us a little bit about how or why you got started on YouTube.
So I knew nothing about YouTube. I mean, I think most people don't. It's amazing because I'm wrapped up in the YouTube world with you guys now, and people have no idea what it even means. And I was in that boat. So I kind of got a little feel for YouTube, and I saw a little bit of magic on there, and I just thought there was a lot of room for some good magic. And I figured it'd be a good portfolio for me. YouTube's really safe. Somebody sends you a random link nowadays, you don't really click it, but if it's a YouTube link, you click it. So that was really my starting point. And I really I'm an all or nothing guy. I don't want to say perfectionist, but if I do something, I do it. So even if you look at my old videos, I've come a long way, and I just wanted to produce something. At this point, my website, which I used to really like, it's at this point, it's almost obsolete. It's kind of like go to my YouTube channel at this point.
Awesome. So YouTube sort of replaced the website in a manner of speaking.
Big time.
Yeah, and I think there's value in that too, because like when somebody goes to your website, you might have some videos embedded there, but when they go to your website, there's the expectation of like, hey, I'm going to go read some stuff, maybe I'll watch some videos. But when you go to a YouTube channel, it's like, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to see this guy in action. I'm going to go look through like a bunch of his stuff. I'm going to see what it is they're doing. So when you present that to somebody like, hey, go watch my videos versus, hey, go to my website, it's a totally different expectation that happens as well. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Jason Rodriguez saying, not to mention YouTube is a great storage unit. I think he means like a portfolio. Gord Eisman is saying, Matthew is awesome. Really enjoyed his entertaining tricks at Vid Summit. And got a lot of questions on a lot of great conversation happening in the comment section. If you want to ask Matt a question about magic, about YouTube, about business, be sure to ask in the comment section. We'll get to it in the course of the show. Matthew Furman, you're a professional magician. You're uploading your videos on YouTube. What are some of the biggest lessons you've learned about YouTube and how to grow there?
Well, I have to say that I've learned a ton from you guys. And I was thinking of something specific. Owen, when I saw you speak at Vid Summit, you had a great point about one video after your YouTube video that goes on, Twitter, on Facebook. It was a really good tip for me because I was putting up different videos, which was really time consuming. Yeah. So that was great. That was a big lesson.
Awesome.
Nick Nimmin, I have learned, forget about it. Just so much. And I learned you have to be, like, if you look at my old videos, I thought I was just going to be the tricks, and I was very monotone and dry and stale, and the quality of the audio was okay, and even the video was okay. I really learned that you have to produce some excellent content that people, are proud and want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk to us about your process here, because I'm watching your videos here. I can see them on the screen, and you have such great presence. Are you talk about your process. Is it you put up the camera by yourself? Do you have a videographer? Do you do your own editing? Talk to us a little bit about how it's such a trip to see you in both sections on the show, by the way. Talk a little bit about your process. How do you make that happen?
So a video takes a long time to make. Even when it's kind of like, I have some cookie cutter stuff, the intros that I throw in, a good video could take 2, 3, 4 hours. Each video. I basically figure out an idea that I want to do. And I film it in a specific way. I had someone filming me. She's no longer filming me. But, you just come up with ideas. At one point, I hired a guy. There was some street magic people wanted to see. So I just go out into my neighborhood and I just walk up to people. And, sometimes you get rejected. I have a video about rejection, but there's where I wanted to make a channel where it's actually performance, where I'm literally performing the magic. Yeah. So there's anywhere from a trick that I filmed, in a specific area, to a setting or at a gig. Sometimes I'll just bring the camera, hand it off. That's what I did with most of the footage of at this one event with Justin Timberlake and all these guys. I literally just kept passing the camera to people.
Really? Like people at the event, and you're like, hey, grab this for me.
Yeah, I wore a mic. I was using my phone and an external mic. And I literally, it's not that hard. Some of the videos better than others, but I just, because it's my 15th year there, so I know everybody. So I had to tell people, I'm like, you know what, just film this. And whatever I got.
What type of mic are you using?
So I was using at the time, and I forgot the name, and it failed me. It was a great mic. It was, I forgot which one, but I got something I like now called the Tascam, Tascam. Yeah. And that thing is low tech. That's, especially if I'm going out to film, that thing is great.
And are you recording your audio separately, like the Tascam's in your pocket type of thing?
I've done both. I bought a Sony system that goes into the camera, and then also that's on me. I like the Tascam because it's really low tech. I throw it on. I don't have to just throw it on. And there's good and there's bad about both. But I've definitely been using an external mic for the street magic because you can't get that close. Even if you put like a Rode mic on top of it, it's not close enough. Yeah,
I'll tell you, you got to check out the Samson Go mic. Phenomenal. It's a wireless lavalier. So you can have your iPhone 20 feet away recording, and then you can be wireless, 20 feet away. Phenomenal quality. I love that mic. Talk to us a little bit about your upload schedule, because are you uploading regularly like a YouTuber, or are you sort of like, oh, I'm going to do a gig and I got to grab this clip today?
So I've been all over the place, and I'm finally, almost out of the desert in my mind, understanding about uploading. I did a 100-day, 100 video run at one point where it was literally every day for 100 days, I did a video, and that was bananas. Now I'm really doing one a week, and I think my day is going to be Monday. So it's going to be one video a week on Mondays.
Now, are you going to do that? Do you do that like okay, I'm going to set my camera up and do a trick for the camera, or is this like you're going out and you've got tons of stuff and it's just about which video to pick?
I'm really choosing now. I did a video I released, I think it was yesterday or the day before, one of those, I think 2 days ago, and I really like how it looks, and I filmed it just my hands, and it's sick. So I think I'm going to do like 3 or 4 more just like that. Also, one thing, and this is a big thing you guys talk about, if I do a trick that's just a visual, that's evergreen material, and that could play, not without me even speaking, that could play anywhere. These videos could just keep getting views.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so let me ask you this, Matthew. So in terms of like growing your channel, for the people that are watching this or listening to this right now, like what tips do you have that you've learned along the way that you would suggest to other people that are trying to grow their channels? Because right now, you're sitting on like 36,000, I think, for your subscriber count. 36,000 and some change. So like what process have you went through to get to that, and what kind of tips would you give to other people that are also wanting to use it to maybe get exposure to the service that they have, or the something that they have to offer as well? What tips do you have for the people that are listening right now?
I mean, first and foremost is content, because I see a lot of content that's not good, and it doesn't matter what you do. If your content's not good, you're not growing. Yeah. So get your content right. And which you guys, I mean, you're the best at that. I mean, not just the content, but the quality. And, I did, there was a collab that I did that really got me subscribers. Did I tell you guys about that one?
Talk about that.
Yeah, that was with, yeah. Name drop here, because they, like you met them at Vid Summit, right? That was from your, that was from going to Vid Summit.
Yeah, I met the sharers, who are amazing. And I met them at Vid Summit.
Something like that, like 2 million subscribers, right?
Yeah, they're insane. They're going straight up. They're geniuses. So I met them at Vid Summit. And so at the time, I took a trip out to DC. That's where they live. And we filmed a vlog for them. And then I wasn't even going to, but I filmed a video doing some magic for them. That video is at 1.8 million views.
Wow.
Nice.
That's incredible.
So that helped. I think the collab, I haven't done that many collabs. I think they're really good. I think that, I mean, that's what you guys talk about, but the collabs are really helpful. Just doing, I guess that's why I did the 100 days, 100 videos. I was like, I heard about consistency. I don't know what that did for it, but just keep chopping away at it.
Well, at the end of the day, you're increasing your watch time, you're increasing your views. So it's really hard. Unless your video gets literally 0 views, it's really hard to upload something to YouTube and say that it was worthless, right? Because you're getting something out of it. I think sometimes a video can actually perform poorly for you. Have you ever had like a poor performing video, something that just tanked or made you look bad, anything like that?
Well, I won't mention it, but I did have another channel that tanked. 99 videos, like no views. So I'm no stranger to the video.
Brutal. That hurts. That hurts.
Big time. At this point, what's good is there's momentum. And that's really a big part of YouTube. But I still have videos that have, I have videos that I look at that are amazing. And there's, like 600 views. And they're amazing videos.
Yeah.
So I think that once you start getting it going, I mean, it's all about suggested, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You talking about getting in the suggested suggested feature, right?
Yeah. So at this point, my videos, I get around 2,000-3,000 views, which is a lot for me for a video. I have certain ones that are growing. I have this Steph Curry one it's amazing. I don't know how, but it started taking off, and this thing's just going. Yeah, there it is right there on the right. That thing, I don't know what it's at, but somehow, something, it started suggesting it or whatever, and it is just growing now.
Got a great question coming in, and Andrew's asking questions. I think we just got to that one. Gord is asking a question. Have you ever tried batch recording, doing a bunch of videos and then sort of uploading them one at a time? Matt Furman.
What's crazy is at this event, the one that's playing right now, I ended up, because I'm at this event for about 5 days.
Wow.
And I'm literally like, I've been there 15 years, so I know everybody. And everybody loves the magic, and everybody wants to see it. And I literally handed out the camera, and I didn't realize how much footage I had. I still have footage from it. And I probably put out like at least 10 videos, but I'm sick of them. So I stopped putting them out. I still have a few celebrities like Rob Riggle. I have his video I haven't put out. Yeah. For me, though, I would go out in my neighborhood for 20 minutes, walk up to a random group. I got a video. Pretty easy at this point.
How did you get past that fear of walking up to strangers and just doing content for them?
That's bold. That's extremely bold, because just approaching people on the street. Like I did door-to-door sales. I had a door-to-door marketing company. I started out work for somebody else, and then I did like me and some friends went off on our own or whatever. And I did a door-to-door marketing company for 10 years. So we had a similar thing to where you have to like approach people through door, approach them on the street, things like that to try to get them to buy stuff. So what's your approach to that as far as like getting that initial push to make yourself go out there and for that first person, because that first person's the hardest. Once you get that first person out of the way, it's downhill from there. But that hill you have to climb every time that you go out to do your street magic. What is that like?
Love it. No fear.
Wow. No fear.
I was at this event one time. It was the US Open. It was a tennis event. And I was there and for a client. And I looked down because we're in some skybox. And who do I see? I see P. Diddy sitting right there. I'm like, I'm going up to him. So I did. I went, I mean, no risk, no reward, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. You got any more tricks to show us today?
Yes, I do. I want to get real close, and I wanted to do the trick that I just put out, my last video, but I wanted to do the whole thing right now. So let me bring this in close. All right. And how's that look? We can see the deck?
Looks great.
Okay. So, Owen, as I run my thumb along, and let me just give a little view here. They're all different, mixed, and good to go. So as I run my thumb along, please say stop.
Stop.
And I'm going to see it. The four of spades coming over here. So let's say about into the center. I do one of these, should be right back up on top. I give you the repeater. Doesn't matter how much I mix it. If it's not on top, I do one of these and it's back on top.
Oh, wow.
Let's say, dropping them, trying to look at the camera. I shouldn't do it like that. All right, let me come here. Let's say into the center, and I'll leave it about halfway down. Not yet. That's a 3. Not until I do one of these, and it's back up.
Boom.
Let's say face up. That means you'll see it from the ace to the 4, and finish on this one from the side. Watch it come straight. Get a good angle on this. Could you see it come to the top?
Wow.
All right. I like
That's awesome.
No, it's tough to see.
Absolutely awesome.
You know,
Did you go to Hogwarts? Right? Like,
I love
it.
I hope you can see it. Did you see this in the is that showing up?
Muggle. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. This is a nice trick. Bring this up here so you can see it. Okay, I'll put it back together.
Yeah, I can't see it now.
Can't see it?
Yeah, it's too dark when you put the camera up. It re-exposed. There we go. There we go. We're good.
Better?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't have the ideal lighting set up here.
But you're basically ripping that string in multiple pieces.
Yeah. Okay. Watch the pieces.
Yeah, so for the podcast, as he's doing this, basically he's taking one piece of string and pulling it into a bunch of different pieces.
And you poor bastards watching the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. You can see the pieces. Let me just. And that should be right back together.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right in front of our eyes here, folks.
Nice.
Right in front of our eyes.
Nice. You know, we should have planned that out a little bit better to where, like, when he pulled the string, like our shirt started, like, unraveling or something like that, and that would have been epic.
Hilarious. Like my sweater, we play that Weezer song. If you
and we have like a little thing that we press on the floor, and it has like a piece of thread on our shirts, and just starts like our shirts just start like coming off as he's like pulling on the thread. That would have been hilarious. It would have been like not safe for work, but it would have been hilarious.
I would, yeah, not safe for work. That's great. No, but seriously, like, did you get a magic mentor? Maybe that's a secret you don't want to give away. Like, how do you learn this? Like, where does one go?
It's all self-taught. I'll tell you one thing about this Rubik's Cube trick. So I heard about this guy because I do a lot of golf events, a lot of PGA Tour events.
Yeah.
So I heard this name over and over about this guy who used to do them. So I ended up looking up this guy, researching him, found out he lived in Arizona, called the guy, developed a relationship with him, and then I was out in Arizona and I went and visited him. So I taught him a ton of stuff, and he taught me the Rubik's Cube trick. But that was, I mean, if I hear about a good trick, I'm on a plane.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's dedication, though, right? Like, that's being a master of your craft right there. Like, hey, you know what? There's something awesome, and I need to make sure that I learn this because people are talking about it. So I'm gonna get a plane ticket. I'm gonna go talk to that person that's doing that right now. Yeah, man, that's
it's very Batman
for sure.
It's very Batman 1, right? Like Bruce Wayne dumps his jacket, gives his jacket to the homeless guy, and he takes off and he goes to study under Ra's al Ghul. You know, I love that. And I think that we've seen a lot of that in the YouTube space. That's why we go to conferences. That's why, you know, we go out and we follow Sean Cannell, Daryl Eves, and Nick Nimmin, and these different people that can show us what is going on. Tom Brooks is going, how the heck did he do that? Aaron Garcia says, awesome. Jason Jackson says, wow, that's so cool. Gord Eisman is asking, Matt, do you ever have a bad day when your hands just aren't working the way you want them to?
Interesting question.
I was at an event last night, and when I got there, and it was out in Sonoma, and when I got there, it was chilly. It was at a winery, and it was chilly. And, you know, for me, when my hands are really cold, it's hard to do certain things. So until I really warmed up, it was like I had to really be careful on what I did. I can't get the same, you know, the dexterity is just not there if it's really cold.
So do you use hand warmers or anything like that? Do you just kind of put them in, you kind of do this thing but you got to make sure your hands are warm. How do you ensure you're the best for every performance?
You just, you know, you just do what you can do. I mean, I certain things I just can't do in certain settings, and I just face that.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. Very cool. Matt, how do we stay in touch with you? How do we follow you on YouTube?
So check out my YouTube channel. It is under my name, Matthew Furman, and a lot of hot tricks.
Do you hate it when people call you Matt?
Matt's perfect.
Okay, good. Because I believe in calling people by the name they call themselves by. You know what I mean? I know you should call yourself Matthew, and I kept calling you Matt. So hopefully you're not offended, and you'll come back on the show in the future and show us some new tricks.
Always, absolutely.
Guys, go check out Matthew Furman on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel right now. Leave a comment. Tell him you came from the Business of Video podcast. Matthew, great to have you on the show today.
Real privilege for me.
Man, thanks for coming on.
What a fun show, like to have just magic tricks. I mean, normally we're talking about tutorials and tips and tricks and all this stuff that we love. But, you know, I met Matt at Vid Summit, and I was like, you know, we got to have this guy on the show. Just so much fun to be around. Andrew Knack is saying, you've got to be incredibly charming, just like Matthew Furman. And the guy is charming. He's a ton of fun to be around. And if you go to Vid Summit this year, you go to the conferences, you might even see him there. But fun show today, Nick.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit different, which is nice. But always good to talk to Matt. I talk to him every now and then, like via email or whatever. Anyway, so definitely good to stay in touch. He's an awesome dude, very talented at what he does.
And great to have you guys on the show today. Always a pleasure to be here with you every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. live on Facebook with the replay happening on iTunes. Guys, we'd love to know your feedback. We cut the share fire today. We jumped into the news. We did some new things. We'd love to know if you like the format. Let us know in the comments. We'll see you next time on the Business of Video podcast. I guess I had more time than I thought.
Thank you for listening to the Business of Video podcast. If you like the show, give us a review on iTunes or share this episode on social media now. Join us next time on Facebook Live. Just visit businessofvideopodcast.com and subscribe to the newsletter updates. This podcast is brought to you by Tuber Tools and BizTubeAcademy.com.